Hopefully we waited long enough to record that the imprint of the blanket that was on my face and not going away for quite a while.
Let me see. I think it went away.
Okay, good.
By the way, I hate that.
Yeah, I mean...
It just tells a story that doesn't need to be told.
What, that I had a cozy, delicious night of sleep?
Yeah, I don't mean you. I mean, like, when I take a brief nap, and then try to, like, go on a call or something, like a Zoom call, and it's like, oh, we know what you were doing.
Oh, yeah.
We know.
Yeah, we got caught by the
totally
blanket
busted.
imprint on your face. So we want to say, first of all, that we did get an email about an ad that someone heard on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it was for
Patriot Mobile.
And someone said, this is not on YouTube. This is on the podcast. If you're listening to the audio podcast, then you may be hearing a Patriot
Mobile.
You may be hearing that, and we don't endorse that.
Yeah.
Don't buy that product.
It's a right-wing weirdo grift. And if you're listening, Patriot Mobile people, fuck straight off. We don't want your money, but we'd be happy to denigrate your product. It's not even a product. They're leasing space on other cell towers from AT&T and Verizon and the other big carriers. And then they sell it as though it's theirs while acting like you're protecting liberty if you whatever.
Yeah, so I don't think have a lot of control over the ads that get run on the podcast audio, nor do we have control over the YouTube ads. Yeah. So if you do hear that, I'm sorry, but just know that they are paying us to hate them.
Yeah.
And to not promote them.
They're also wasting their money. It's like during campaign season. Too early. See, that right there is the vocal styling of a blanket crease on my face.
Yeah, that should be your vocal warm-up in the morning,
right.
Is saying campaign season.
So during campaign season, when Donald Trump's campaign and Republicans run ads against my videos, it's like, what? You think this is a good use of spending your money? You think you're convincing people in my audience?
Yeah. And we get a lot of comments of different conservative outlets that are running ads before the videos, and we can't control it.
Yeah.
Let them waste their money, I guess.
Absolutely.
So normally we read or hear from listeners. We're going to do something a little different, and we're going to read a couple new listener reviews that we got. I was wanting to read a bad one, because you know that we love to play hater voicemails, and we love to read negative reviews of the show, but these are both positive.
We made one of our end of the year gifts for Patreon a couple years ago. Almost 3 years ago now, Jesus, was a magnet with a bad review on it that said I've looked around or I've shopped around. Mm-hmm. This is totally tactless and
the most disappointing podcast.
That's right, the most disappointing podcast.
Yes, and we loved it. So we turned it into an end of year gift for all of our Patreon supporters.
A refrigerator magnet with that review on it. It was great.
You have to lean in.
For sure.
So we want to read this first review. Latest episode with Robert P. Jones, 5 stars. Truly powerful conversation between 3 inspiring, sincerely good humans. Left me thinking seriously about what it means to live with integrity and why looking at history honestly is important and necessary if we want to have a great society. Robert's answer to Jesse and Brittany's anchoring question, what have you changed your mind about lately, was the best part in this episode, and there were many great parts. Also, Brittany is the best part, so there were 2 best parts this time.
Well, thank you, reviewer. Is that on Apple Podcasts?
It is on Apple Podcasts,
I don't know if you can review on Spotify, but you certainly can leave a star rating.
Yeah.
But you might be able to review. I don't know.
Yeah, and all of the reviews help us a lot because we actually get a weekly email letting us know where we are on the charts, which is exciting. And I mean, sometimes it's exciting. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to see this. And we are consistently in the top 200 in politics in South Korea and a few other countries.
No, it's more than 200. I think we're 200 in politics in America, and South Korea is in the top 100.
Yeah, and so we don't hear from a lot of our listeners in South Korea. We have heard multiple times from Yuri.
Yeah.
And there, I think, obviously are more that we're not hearing from. So reach out.
Maybe
if you
she's
feel...
single-handedly keeping the show afloat in South Korea. We appreciate that.
Yes. Okay, here's another review that we got. On Point is the name of the review, 5 stars. I appreciate all the deep dives into such interesting topics. Both of you have great opinions. And Brittany, you approach sensitive topics with such empathy, and your concern is genuine. I really enjoy the banter between you. It's really sweet. I also find myself feeling warm and fuzzy after the show because you also cover heartwarming, good stories, and I enjoy that. Always agree 100. It's kind of uncanny. Thanks for your hard work and sharing your knowledge and insights.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice reviews.
Although when someone says they agree with us 100%, I always get a little nervous because don't expect that to last.
Yeah, no kidding.
And start thinking about how you're going to react
when you don't.
When you hear something you don't like.
Because it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
We don't even agree with 100% on shit together.
No.
There's no way other humans. I mean, I don't agree with myself sometimes. I'm, talking myself out of positions.
Yeah. So just think about that. But thank you for the very kind review. It helps us a lot. So if you could take the time, please rate and review the show on whatever podcatcher you use to listen to the show, and that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Since we didn't read listener communication, I still want to get the phone number out. It is 657-464-7609. That is where you call to leave a brief voicemail. You can also send an email or email us a voice memo from your smartphone to idoubt@dollemore.com.